Oh. No. We had to fix a thing that was out of place.
It's much better
Well done,
now.
Brendan. That was good. Welcome back to Jesus. It's been a while. I feel rusty. Do you ever feel rusty?
I do feel rusty,
Like
but he doesn't like that.
You don't feel Wait, what?
Rusty the dog.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel him.
And he doesn't like that.
No, he
Why
takes
not?
the hand off you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you mean feel like in a
Nice way.
Yeah,
Rub
yeah.
his head and shit
Yeah.
like that. He like.
a socially acceptable way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so I was just talking about sort of rusty in terms of we haven't done a podcast in a while because we were doing a festival thing. How did that go?
Oh, it's really bad.
Yeah, it was horrible. Don't go next year.
Yeah.
Do you reckon you like the colour of your t-shirt could be why you feel rusty as well?
Yeah, it is like a rusty
colour.
colour. Yeah.
Yeah, where did you get that t-shirt?
What?
Where did you get the t-shirt? The poo colour t-shirt?
It was in like a mechanic shop. It was used to be
Handy.
It's just a white t-shirt, but yeah, it used to be rub off. Did you ever step on a rusty nail actually?
I did.
Yeah.
And did you get like tetanus shot around that?
I don't think so, no.
Nah, me neither.
I jumped off of like some kind of ledge thing or something. It was like a little bit of a height, like 2 feet or so.
Yeah.
And landed on a rusty nail.
And to go into your foot.
No.
Yeah, that was unpleasant.
Did you get a tetanus shot like that?
I think that time I didn't because I think I was still within the whatever
Thing or
amount of
something.
years
Yeah.
Oh,
after.
previous tetanus.
Yeah.
I've never had to get like I've stepped on all sorts of weird things, and I've never had to like plenty of rusty nails and
I got a tetanus shot, but I can't remember why.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're being bold.
Probably just, I think, for the crack. Yeah.
Yeah.
For the crack.
You're being bold. Yeah.
Or was I going somewhere? I don't know. Something like
Okay.
I think the first time I got a tetanus shot was just like my finger got caught in like a door, but like the hinges of the door and stuff were kind of rusty and dirty and stuff, so it was just to be safe.
No.
But yeah, I had my hand there and like someone closed the door and just
that. Were you accident prone?
pulled the skin back.
Yeah, you seem like you're
You're
attracting the accidents.
Minor accidents. Like
Yeah.
I've never broken a bone.
Well,
No,
me neither.
What about there's a first for everything? We're here now in the Friday feed. We have a special segment called Breaking Stevie's Bones.
You said you always wanted to break a bone.
But
didn't you?
before we do that, we'll actually let Stevie
Play some music.
bring back something. It's been a while. Oh my God, I'm so excited. It's
Go
been
on,
so long.
Stevie.
It's Stevie's intro music. The SD card is gone. But there's a clap here anyway. Thank you for that, Stevie. Stevie's having a roll.
Well done, Stevie.
Stevie's having a roll and we're having a good time after
you
that.
deserved that role after playing that music.
Yeah.
I'd love if we could sing along with it when it's
Yeah.
playing.
But it's like I can't get the intonations. I can't do that. Like it's like you could do the bass or something.
I could. No problem.
Yeah, and then I could just go, I don't know, the accordion.
What could you do?
I do the accordion that he used
Yeah.
in it. Use many instruments. But yeah, so we're not going to actually break Stevie's bones.
No.
But if we did, we'd have to apologize.
Apologise. Yeah. Do you always get do you get nervous before the Friday feed?
I just feel weird because we haven't done this shit in ages, like
I
in
know.
general.
I
I
always
never.
get kind of nervous.
Okay.
A little bit nervous where I have to do a nervous wee, right?
Did you need to go now?
No, it's all psychological. I just
Okay.
went a minute ago before, but I don't really need to go. You question yourself, don't you? You just question yourself. Do I need a wee or don't I need a wee? It's
Yeah.
like when you're going on a plane or something like that. And you don't really, but
But you'll make it happen. Even if you really don't, it's like this thing of, I know what you mean.
yeah.
And is it just the Friday feed when we're doing it with the guests? Would you?
I'd be twice as nervous. Yeah.
Really, yeah?
Yeah, very nervous. So yeah.
What about you? Do you get nervous doing the podcast at all anymore?
Not really, no.
That's fine.
But the thing with like you're saying there with like weeing, like there's a weird thing with like autism that's really common where like you don't always know when you need to use the bathroom. Like there's times where I'll be like playing a video game or something and Megan will turn around and be like, Stevie, do you need to use the bathroom? It's like, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, why? And she's like, well, you've just kind of been sitting there like shaking.
No way.
And like, it just doesn't occur to me that like I need to go, like, and it's like a really common thing for.
That's mad. Right?
That's a weird thing that happens to me, and when I'm sometimes really engrossed in the drawing, and I'm loving it. Like, and I'm feeling really uncomfortable. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then
I actually know what you
I'm
mean.
about to bust.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean.
I'm so focused on the drawing that I don't remember that. Would that mean that we've touches of it, or what? Do you reckon?
But see, it could be other things. That there could be. I wouldn't know. Like, it could just be, maybe it happens to people in general when they're focused on things. But
I think it could be like a focus thing. Like,
I know
if you have wet socks, it doesn't bother you if you're focused on something good. Like,
I know it's just a really common thing for people with autism, where they mightn't necessarily recognize when they're hungry or when they need to pee and stuff like that. It's strange.
Then the hunger thing, I never know. And I don't get hungry in my stomach. It's the weirdest thing ever. I only get like it's hard. That's why I'm so bad at like eating and shit, because I don't like my body. How I know when I need to eat is when I'm losing my mind. No, when I can't think properly, like, and it gets like foggy and shit like that. Then I'm like, oh, I need to eat. Like, I swear to God, that's my measurement. I don't get rumbles. I don't feel hungry. Like,
for me, a lot of time, one of the things that happens that tells me when I'm hungry is if I'm colder than I should be for how warm it actually is. Like, I remember being at Valley a few years ago.
Oh yeah,
and I was shivering.
Yeah,
and like Tony was just like, "Are you okay? Like, do you need like an extra jumper or anything?" They didn't understand, because like it was a warm day.
Yeah,
and I was like, "I don't know what's wrong with me." And then I went and I got a burger, and I like, took like 2 bites of the burger, and I was fine.
That's mad.
I was like, okay, I was just hungry. Like, and my body just wasn't heating itself properly, because I was so hungry. Like.
And you get that way. Is it you feel? Oh yeah. Do you ever like feel okay? You're outside, and then if you go for you don't feel cold, but then after you go for a piss, you feel cold. You feel colder, like, because all that heat's gone out. It's like having a hot water bottle inside you, and if you piss it out, if you're camping or anything like that, I always feel anyway. It's because it's like if your bladder's full, that's a lot of hot water inside, like a hot water bottle, free while you're camping. So if you piss, then it's gone out. Now you've let your hot water bottle go to the wild. And it's
giving it away.
Yeah, giving it away to Mother Earth.
The other thing I do is get up in the middle of the night and go for a piss without really noticing.
Really?
Yeah, and I did it one night. If I was drinking or something like that.
Into the toilet, though.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
I would. I got up in the middle of the night one night, and this happened to me a few times actually, where I can't find the door out of the room.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying to get into the mirror because it's kind of the same
shape.
Yeah. So I was saying so I had to take the mirror down off the wall and put it on the bed, or put it on the ground, to eliminate it from our inquiries when we're looking for the door. And once I had the mirror down, this is how you, if you ever get stuck in this situation, Stevie, this is what you do.
So you're trying to leave
the mirror down, put it on the floor, and then feel your way around the wall. Keep going.
And
you will find
anything that resembles a door. You
will. But what happens then is I hit the window. So you could just go out the window, because things are getting desperate at this stage. I'm going to burst. Yeah.
That's mad. So you're just stuck in this dark room trying to go for a piss.
Boston.
Has ever resulted in you just fuck it, like there's a corner, it's just me.
No.
Let it go.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. It could have happened.
Yeah.
Wouldn't admit anything on camera.
What about you, Stevie? Have you ever pissed in places you aren't allowed to, without permission or authority?
I don't think so. Like, beyond like pissing outside when there's no toilet.
Yeah.
I was at a stag party. We were in a pub, and I was just remembering, like, I was saying to the barman, or he was an old man. It was an old man's pub and owned by an old man. I was just noticing like that he turned very angry on us, and he had a blackthorn stick, and he got up on the bar and started swinging it at our heads. And we ducked, and we had to leave the pub, like, because he was too violent. And I remember
he was the owner or something.
He was the owner of the pub. He was an old man. It was an old man's pub. We were getting on great with this man, and then he just turned on us, you know. And I was saying to my friend afterwards, I said, he was very rude, that guy. In Limerick, you know, it was in Limerick. I said, he was very rude. And he said, do you not remember why he was rude? And I said, no, why? He said, do you not remember such and such was pissing against the counter? I said, fuck yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, he was. Yeah, it was just all so surreal when you're completely drunk.
You said he was rude.
Yeah, one of our party thought that he was in the bathroom, but he was up against the counter and just started going for a slash. And that's where your man picked out the blackthorn stick and started to swing it.
That's
and we
funny.
all just had to duck. We were all going, what's wrong with this man? He's completely not hospitable at all.
Rude.
So yeah, we had to leave that pub and go on somewhere else.
That's right, good.
That just reminds me of like the whole thing you're saying of like kind of when people are drunk and they're not fully aware of what's actually going on. Like I remember doing 12 pubs with the lads before, and we were in like one of the pubs, like, and it was like the 11 pub on it, so we were fairly well on, like.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember like we were just like laughing about how like the pub looked like a Buc-ee's and all this kind of stuff and whatever. But then I remember like afterwards turned around and like, do you ever think what that was like? Because like that's like a quiet like old man's pub that has the same regulars and no one else really goes into.
Yeah.
And out of the blue, just like a group of people just come in, horribly drunk, incredibly loud, and start
ripping
the piss out of the pub and talk about how shit it is. Drink 1 pint to leave.
Yeah,
like we must like, you know, like you never think, never think from the other side of like how like at the time you're like, oh yeah, this is just good crack, but you never think the other side of like how
like
rude.
How fucking rude you actually came across there. Like,
there's a guy who owns it who put his life into it.
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, you're coming in calling it Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
No decorum at all. Like, no.
That's funny.
I wonder would you guess what pub it was, but
I would.
Yeah, bro. I think that's the most awkward. Yeah, I can guess. It's the most awkward, like cringy thing ever when. Like, especially if you're not that drunk and people around are just can't tell what they're saying is rude or loud or something like that. It is the most awkward. It makes you cringe. It makes your genitals small.
Doesn't do anything.
Okay. But yeah, I just think it's really rude, especially if people say it in chippers and stuff and they start being like, you know, when they start like, when they go to the counter, be like, I want a chip, you know, spelling out because they think they can't spell kebab, and your man's like, oh, I'm from Cork, like, you know, like you're just, you know, I can understand you, and I hate that. That's the worst. Like people trying to teach English while ordering chips, like.
Yeah.
Oh,
and really, they should apologize in that situation, shouldn't they?
Apologize.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they should. Have you ever apologized for?
Yeah. I did, yeah. I remember I shouted at a guy once on a building site because he just wasn't doing what we were asking him to do and all that, and I felt really bad.
Okay.
So I said, look, I'll apologize to him afterwards.
Yeah.
So I apologized to him, man. It was like as if I pulled a gun on him. He was like, I don't think anyone had ever apologized to him.
Yeah.
But then I realized, like,
and would he be like resistant? Would he be the type of lad that like?
No, he was very embarrassed. Like,
okay,
he didn't want that kind of emotional contact.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He was just like really uncomfortable. He was like, but we became great friends afterwards. Like, he talks to me now anytime I meet him or whatever.
I know what you mean. I have had that experience all the times where, like, I don't know. Yeah, I might even that one specifically, because I hate actually is like that. I could never be like that. The whole like you know, you'd be firm or something. I didn't like do that. Then I'd go away and I might end up being firm out of like build up of emotion or something. Yeah. Then I'd come back and I'm like, oh, like I'd go away feeling shit for hours. I'd come back and say sorry in similar situations though, where the other person just, it's like that no one's ever said sorry before or ever said anything other than like negative.
I say sorry way too often. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd nearly say sorry.
Would you like to apologize to the public now?
Like I'd nearly say sorry to a door I bumped into. Like I'm like, it's that instinctive in me to just apologize for things. Like.
Yeah. Do you think it's like an Irish thing as well? I know it's like, I let, like the other day I was in the shop in Dundrum and I was about to go out and I seen an older man coming in, so I just stepped aside, let him in first. And rather than saying thanks, he said sorry. And then that flagged with me. I was like, oh, that's mad.
I do that as well. Like, it's mad that it's like in a lot of countries, like if you want to get past someone, it's excuse me. In Ireland, sorry.
Yeah.
You know, it's just
sorry for my sins, father. I
worked with this guy before and I noticed like he was really good at dealing with difficult people and stuff, you know. Okay. So like they could eat the face off him. He would say, oh, my apologies. Oh, God, I'm sorry about that. Like, and he wouldn't have done anything wrong. And I just noticed that they'd put it into reverse, like this angry car.
Yeah.
And I just thought he was brilliant.
You're really good at that as well.
So, I learned it from him. So, like, you apologize no matter what. It calms people down.
Yeah.
It's much easier.
We had a thing, I had a hard time recently when Hugh, and it doesn't matter what it was, but he was teaching me his ways and he was like, we need to say sorry. I was like, I didn't do anything.
That's not relevant. We apologize because we want to get our job done.
Well, I didn't do anything, but we went and said sorry.
Yeah, and everything worked out perfectly.
And it did, you know, you're right. I do love that. No, I'd always be about that, but it's a real skill
Yeah.
to let go of that shit, and I will someday. But
and you know what's amazing is to see the confusion in their face when you apologize when you didn't do anything wrong, and they're like, oh, yeah, no, that's
go ahead.
fine. Yeah,
here's the keys to my car. Here.
Yeah. You get, so you don't always have to be, wrong to apologize.
No, you're right. I do love that as well. There's just that little part of me. I didn't do it. I don't know what I'm saying. Sorry.
I don't know. The word apologize is stopping sounding like a word now.
Oh, really? Apologize. It sounds like some summoning of intergalactic.
Apologize.
Yeah, exactly.
Who's your leader?
His name is Apologize. But yeah, I hope. Do you ever I hope I never have to do a public apology for. There was that lad. Do you ever remember? Do you remember Coney 2012? That whole thing.
I remember that, but I can't remember what it was about.
I can't even remember. I think it was like all the Ugandan slave camps or something like that.
Yeah, it was like this guy who was like basically a tyrant.
Yeah, and there was this guy that started the whole campaign, and his whole thing was like he was doing so well and getting so many people to sign up to it. And I as far as I remember, it was all genuine and stuff like that. Yeah. And he was really doing a good job. It was the first thing I'd ever seen the internet be used for like a global campaign in 2012, hence the name. And but sure, the whole thing went down the window because I think it got too much. Like he got famous real quick, and he was caught masturbating out in the streets. So
was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that mad? Like the credibility of something that seemed genuine, and maybe it wasn't. I don't know.
All he needs to, no, I don't think there's a problem there at all. I think all he needs to do is apologize.
Yeah, and he never did.
Just apologize, and you're a hero.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What I love is people like, say, Bill Clinton or whoever, Slick Willie, they used to call him in Mississippi, where he gets caught doing something and comes out and goes, I'm a fallen man, and they're going, God bless you, man. God bless you. Your guts.
Yeah.
And like all you did is like, he didn't give a shit. Like,
devil captured me, and
I'm a sinner, man.
Yeah. But I'm one of you. I feel like it's
People
so easy
love
to
that.
fucking manipulate people with that. Like. Have you ever had to manipulate the public, Stevie?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Not intentionally,
Were you going to say something? Sorry, before I asked you a rude question.
I was just gonna say that like I always find it funny with like a lot of like kind of when people are doing like public apologies and stuff, like there's like there's the term of like a non-apology.
Oh yeah.
Or like
if you were offended. It's
like oh yeah, I'm sorry if you blah 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 blah, and it's just like they're basically they're saying sorry, but they're really not. Like they're literally just shifting the blame somewhere else.
Yeah,
that's no good of an apology. You're better off throwing stones at yourself and beat yourself up in public.
Yeah, flog yourself, get naked and just whip yourself.
But I think all those non-apologies have made it really difficult to actually like kind of come across as a genuine apology as well. Like it's really hard to like. It's always hard to tell.
My whole thing though is if it's genuine, it's genuine.
Oh yeah.
And just nobody does it is the thing. Like it's all written and it's all like I think if anyone actually felt sorry, it'll be captured on camera really easy. Like.
Yeah, it's like it just feels like a lot of times when people apologize in public, it's like it feels like they Google like apology template. And just like subbed in the words. Like.
Yeah.
Written by my publicist.
Yeah.
I'm going to get my solicitor to apologize for me.
Yeah.
That would really confuse people.
Yeah.
Especially if you hadn't done anything, just send your solicitor.
Or she was offended.
Yeah.
Send your solicitor to apologize to people that you've never even met and see the confusion. Like.
Yeah, I can't wait. Like, do you think you'll need a publicist when this is the
absolutely
universe? Yeah,
I need to get the apologies ready.
Hugh won't even be Hugh will be beside his person, and you'll do all the talking for you on every episode.
Like every time you ask Hugh a question, like there's someone who's like whispered in his ear. No comment.
Yeah. No further comment.
Yeah, I'm practicing the apologies for when I get caught, so it doesn't bother me too much.
Yeah, well, we just apologize now because we're probably going to make some mistake as the show grows. Like, so we're sorry
if you were offended.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm sure. Yeah. Speaking of apologizing, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not having anything to say after that.
Weird song lyrics.
Weird
song lyrics. Yeah, we were listening to things this morning about weird song lyrics. Like your man, it was like he was going about like I shot the sheriff, but I didn't shoot the deputy. You know what I mean? And your man was going, well, you shot the sheriff. Like, that's not offense, you know.
Yeah.
You're still fucking going down. You're still going to jail, Terry. That's not a good defense, but I didn't shoot the deputy. What? You're expecting credit for not shooting his assistant.
Man.
What?
Yeah, it was like a stand-up comedian talk about it. It was like the funniest thing I've seen. Like,
That is actually
it was
brilliant.
so good.
What weird lyrics.
It is a weird.
Oh, there is definitely ones, but trying to think off the top of my head, there's definitely things that I've like listened to and I've been like, that's just really weird, or like you're just, you know, sometimes people are like over explaining something
in a lyric, like yeah. I wonder what.
Like your man, I heard of your man.
Oh man, remember when we were in Cork at the fight? Me, you, Owen, and Dave, or whoever went. I think it was I went down, and Owen I was dying laughing because Owen was trying to convince me that the Bee Gees were asked to Staying Alive go to CPR.
Yeah.
Owen trying to convince me, and he still doesn't believe me. He thinks that they were asked by some national health organization to make that song first because someone else thought we need a song to go in time, rather than someone being like, oh, it actually works with the song that was already created. And he still doesn't believe me. He thinks he was telling me he read that it was like a national health organization. I got them to write that song. I thought that was the funniest thing ever.
That is true.
But it is mad though, the way, what is it? Like
120 beats, 120 beats per minute.
Yeah.
There's loads of songs. Like I think Red Cross actually have a Spotify playlist of like songs that you can use.
Fuck, I do that. The Red Cross.
You might get a bit bored when you're trying to keep.
So like, do you know,
Rodhead.
You're trying to keep grandma alive, but you're a bit bored. Put on the spin.
Next song. You're like, oh, I don't like this song. Stop for a second. Change it. Like,
do you see that thing actually where like someone was like giving out on Twitter to YouTube, and they were saying like, oh dear YouTube, can you not like play ads before CPR videos, like, because like we're trying to save people's lives. YouTube just, there was this, like a bot response back to it, and it's just like, hi, if you're looking for an ad-free experience, try YouTube Preview or something like that.
Brilliant.
That's right good.
And it was so funny, like it was just
that's right good. Try YouTube Freemium. Oh man, yeah, I don't know. I loved it. All the bots and what was the thing I was showing you? Got an ad the other day. Like the madness of it was like an ad from a chicken. It was like chickenwings.com, and then it was like invest all your money, and it was like a bot saying invest all your money in
some Elon Musk.
Yeah, it was just the weirdness. The internet's gone mad, like chicken wings and pissing in places you shouldn't. I'm trying to think. Oh no, that was never mind. That wasn't. Yeah, that wasn't.
What was that about pissing in places?
No, it wasn't even urine. It wasn't even any sort of excretion. What? No, but it was something to do with motorways. But it was like the first place.
Yeah, it just seemed like
doesn't matter.
It did seem like an ad that was generated by AI.
That
it didn't seem like it was a real it just seemed incoherent. Like it just did not seem.
There was no substance.
Yeah, it was just like they just got like a load of buzzwords.
Yeah,
and threw it in.
Wings.
Yeah, it was like chicken wings, Elon Musk, and like
the two most popular.
Investing money, and it was just like, oh yeah, these are all things people click on.
Yeah, it's so mad. Like just how I don't know.
What's the weirdest festivals you guys have ever heard of?
Weirdest festivals.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's probably like.
Oh, that
I want to go to some of them.
That cheese rolling festival.
Oh yeah, that's definitely probably the best. Yeah. In Scotland somewhere.
I think somewhere in the UK anyway. I think.
Yeah, I can't wait till we'll get a setup that we can like watch it up here, because you can watch. Yeah.
Oh, there.
So go to. Then we'll be able to watch the thing with the folks at home, because that's a funny video.
Did you hear what happened? This is like so fucking funny to me. Like during the pandemic, because the cheese festival couldn't go ahead.
What?
Because the cheese festival couldn't go ahead, and they wanted to do something to like market it anyway.
Yeah.
They just like rolled a Baby Bell down the hill.
No way. That's right.
In honor of the festival. Like, I just thought it was really funny that I was just like, we can't do it, so just a tiny cheese goes down the hill.
That's good. Yeah, that's funny. Will we finish up now, or after hitting the mark now? We hope you folks enjoyed whatever this is.
Yeah.
And
if you go now, you'll beat the traffic.
If you go now, you'll beat the traffic. If you go now, so we can beat Stevey with stick. First time broken bone. I've never broke a bone either, actually. So
I haven't either.
Might get. We all just
break each other's bones.
That'll be the weirdest festival.
That'd be fun though.
That'd be the weirder.
Bone breaking.
Bone breaking.
I'm sure it exists. We'll Google it later on.
Get public liability for
it's like that thing that goes on in England with the giant ball. Did you ever see that?
No.
It's like they play this like ball game thing, or like picture there's like a street, right, full of people, like the busiest you've ever seen. It's like as in like fucking like match day in Turles like times 10, like, and they just have this massive ball like it's thrown into the crowd, and people will like beat the shit out of each other to get the ball, and when they get it, they just like I think they just throw it back anyway. Like, but there was a guy who had like got the ball and like climbed up onto this thing, and like it was like a kind of some kind of not alleyway, but you know that kind of thing, but it was up at a height, and he was like standing at the edge, and like people were trying to get in. He was just beating the shit out of him, punching him just to keep on. I love that.
That's one of the things where I go like. They say we have flying cars by now, but people are fucking idiots. And I love people for that. Like that is like just what the fuck. Like,
do you know what we could do if anybody's listening to the podcast right now, right?
Yeah,
is get them to Google the weirdest festivals and put them in the comments.
Yeah, comment below, and then we'll talk about next year. Well, hopefully soon we're going to be able to watch little things with you, and you'll have a bit of crack, and you can join in. But yeah, comment below what the weirdest festival is, and Hugh will attend them.
Yeah, I want to.
And we'll give you a camera, and you could Cool. So I'm sure it'll be one in Berlin or something. It's probably the weirdest. Yeah. Right. Yeah. See you next week. Thanks for coming. Bye.